The budget enthusiast. Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy the budget enthusiast, and today is a very special day for me. So I'm a huge Pixel fan. I've had the very first Pixel, which I have right here. I had the very first Pixel, and I had the Pixel 2 XL, I had the Pixel 3, I had the Pixel 4, the 4A, and now I have the 6 here. So this is the 6 Pro. So I want to share my initial thoughts on it, show you the terrible unboxing experience, because it really wasn't anything to unbox, and just give you my first overall impressions of the phone. So we're just going to jump right in. So first off, I want to say that the design of this phone is super dope.
And for the Pixel 6 Pro, we were inspired by high-quality finishes used in jewelry and watches. It's our most refined phone, made with polished unibody metal transitioning fluidly into the gorgeous 3D glass. The phone feels refined and unique in hand, with unexpected color combinations. Our white Pixel 6 Pro with a clean silhouette and timeless style is accentuated by the warm white and tinted gray colors, and the high polished silver frame. We're also pairing a light gold with warm colors for luxurious and uplifting feel. And of course, we have a tailored and modern black Pixel 6 Pro, which combines dark neutral colors with a high polished black metal for an elegant and understated look.
We're dope. Like, I love it. I love the design of this phone. Now, if you're wondering why does my Pixel look like this, I got a skin for it. So the phone is super slippery. So I did not feel comfortable with carrying the phone without some sort of skin on it to give it a little bit more grip. The cool thing is I usually don't use cases very often. So I throw a skin on it to protect the glass so it won't get all scratched up. And, you know, I'm usually pretty careful with my phone, so I usually never have a problem. But I had to get a skin for this bad boy. This thing is super slippery, but I love the design. And a lot of people talk bad about the camera bar that goes across here. I think the camera bar is dope, and it adds like that extra dimension to it, so it just doesn't look like any other phone. You know, you can pick out an iPhone in a crowd, you can pick out like the Galaxy, the S21 and ones like that. You can see those and be like, oh yeah, I know what phone that is. With this design, you can definitely tell what phone it is, and I love it. So as you can tell, this is the metallic skin that I have on here from D brand. They're not sponsoring this video. I wish they were, but they're not sponsoring this video. But I always get D brand skins. For one, they will ship it to you on time. I've ordered from other skin manufacturers, and they take 500 years to get you your case or your skin. So D brand always gets my stuff on time, so I usually stick with them. They don't have as many colors and options as some of the others, but they're high quality. So that's what I like about it. So that is that. Now, before we jump any further, I want to show you this unboxing experience. So this phone is $900, so it's $899.99. Probably the most expensive phone that I've ever purchased. Usually my other Pixels were a little bit cheaper than that. My 4A was only $350. I paid for that right out. So that was nothing in comparison to some of the other flagship phones. But here, I wanted to show you what I had to deal with when I got this thing. So I'm like all excited, right? I'm like, yeah, finally got my phone. And of course, it's super thin because we know it doesn't come with anything. So, you know, you peel the little tabs off here, and then it's like, oh yeah, get this thing open, oh yeah. And then this is the exact same struggles I had the very first time, and I'm like super excited, so it makes it even worse. And then you're like, oh, and then all this stuff falls out. So all you get is your SIM eject tool, You get the adapter here if you want to transfer wireless, not wirelessly, if you want to transfer wired from your old phone to your new phone. And you get a charging cable. And there's the SIM ejection tool. That's it, guys, for 900 smackers. That's all you get. So they claim they're trying to save the environment by not including a charging cable. I don't think that's the case. The reason I don't think it's the case is because this particular phone can do up to 30-watt fast charging. Of course, since it doesn't come with one, and if you want to get that charging speed, you definitely have to buy that charger. Like, there's no way around it. The chargers that I have for my previous Pixels, it doesn't charge it very fast because it's a big 5,000 milliamp cell. So it doesn't really charge it as fast as you would like it to charge. So that was kind of an issue. But it's all right. I mean, I'm resourceful. I have a bunch of different chargers around here, and I have the old, as you see, I have the old wireless charger, the official Google one that I got when I got my, I think it was the Pixel 4, and that doesn't charge it very fast. I mean, it charges it all right, but it still gives you all the Pixel features, but it does not charge it very fast. So when the new one comes out, that'll give you, I think it's 20-watt charging or something like that. The new accelerated wireless charger, that one I will definitely get so I can get a little bit faster wireless charging. But back to my initial impressions. So, like I said, I think the design is dope. It feels really premium. It doesn't feel like it's gonna like blow up in my hand or anything or fall apart. One thing that I thought was weird, it might be this actual telephoto lens in here, but when you shake it, you can hear a camera shaking, and I'm assuming it's the telephoto because the telephoto is recessed way back there, and it feels like the telephoto is making that noise. I could be completely wrong, but that's just how I feel. It feels like when I shake it, because I have an app that allows me to do the chop chop like the Motorola phones and get your flashlight popping, so you can chop. I have an app that does that. I used to have Motorola phones before the Pixels came out, and I used to love that feature. So when I found that they had an app for that, I was like, oh, I must have this. So that is what I use for that. But yeah, when I chop it, I swear it's the telephoto lens. Let me know in the comments if other people have had this. If you were on the, if you have the same phone and you've experienced like you shake it, it will make that noise. So got to take this off camera and wipe it down because get the fingerprints all over the screen. But back to what I was saying. So going forth, most of the, to the aesthetics of this phone, I love it. I think it looks great. But a lot of the reviewers are complaining about the placement of the power button and the volume keys. A lot of them want it on the opposite side, like the volume keys on the opposite side of the power key. But I mean, dude, if you've had Pixels before, like, that's just the way it always has been. Like, all the Pixels are like that. Like, this is the original Pixel. It has the volume and power on the same side, and the power is at the very top. It was like that from the beginning. I don't understand why people are complaining. And the Pixel 3a that I'm filming on, because my 4a is going to go back to Google, that has the same thing. The actual power button is above the volume keys, and the 4a has the same thing. Like, come on, guys. Look, it's the volume rocker is right here, and then you have the power button. It's above it. I don't understand why they're so surprised that that's how it is. I mean, I know it's a little bit higher up because the phone is huge, and you have to like do a little hand gymnastics just to get your thumb up there. But other than that, dude, I mean, it's been the same forever. But tech YouTubers, I would like to become one of them at some point, but maybe I will get just as jaded as they are. They use so many phones, they just have to nitpick everything. They don't really nitpick iPhones or Samsung phones as much, but they definitely nitpick the Pixels a lot, which I don't get. But I've been Team Pixel since day one, so I love them. Sure, they're not the perfect phone, but they're very close for me. They do everything I want to do, and they're inside the Google ecosystem. So moving on to some of the other first impressions. So I don't know if you guys really care about haptics. So haptics are when you do something on the phone and it gives you vibration feedback. So like typing, it'll give you a little vibration feedback to let you know when you're touching some of the keys and whatnot. I think it's awesome. I think I think just bar none is some of the best haptics I've ever felt on an Android phone. So it makes a big difference to me. Like when I'm typing, it just feels right. It just feels totally right. So I love the haptics on this particular phone. I think the closest ones to this one were probably the Pixel 4. The Pixel 4 had really good haptics, and it was just good to type on it and stuff. So other than that, the haptics are really, really, really good. I think just touching and holding on objects on the phone or swiping, it just gives you that little satisfying feedback. Now, one thing that I must mention is that this particular model has a curved screen. So that means the screen curves over the edge. And usually when you have something on the screen, it will give you, it kind of does like a little water flow effect or waterfall effect. This is my first one in a long time that I've had that had a curved screen. When I had one, I think it was a Samsung phone that I had way back, and I did not like the curved screen because it was hard to find screen protectors for. I'm a tempered glass screen protector guy. I've always been. I used to work for Verizon, so that was just something I knew was better. And you could drop your phone and you would think that it's broken, but it's not, and it's just a screen protector. That thing saves lives. So the having a curved screen, it's tough to find screen protectors. Now, I found one that I ordered from Amazon, and it's one of those TPU style plastic ones that you gotta let it settle. It's wet, and so you gotta spray your phone down and put it on and all this stuff, and then you gotta wait 24 hours for it to heal up, and the bubbles would disappear and all the water would dry up. Pain in the butt, and it's not as case friendly as you would want. Now, like I said, I don't use cases very often, but when I do, I want my stuff to not peel up on the corners. I mean, come on now. You pay a lot of money for these phones. You want to protect them a little bit, at least the screen. I just want my screen to be protected. The back should be good with the skin, and when I'm going into rougher environments, like going to an amusement park or just doing any outdoor activity, or if I know I'm going to be doing something rough at work, I will put a case on it for that day and, have my phone protected. But, I mean, I don't know. The curved screen, it is annoying, but they only had that in the Pro, and I wanted to get the Pro because I'm going to use this to film a lot of my movie reviews and other tech reviews that don't involve me shooting the Pixel. I had to use my work phone for this particular video because, like I said, I'm sending back my other one, my 4A, and I am, using this one in the video. So I can't do anything with that. Can't film on it while it's being used in the video. So anyway, you guys don't really care about that, but we're going to move on. So the curved screen, we talked about that. So the Bluetooth on this thing. So I've always had in my car, I drive a 2015 Chevy Malibu, and that thing always has like weird issues with Bluetooth whenever I had my other Pixels on there. But this one so far, I've had it since Monday, and it is Thursday as of me filming this, and it's so far so good. Like I get in the car, it connects right up, and it doesn't like do the weird stuttery, janky thing that the other Pixels did. I know the Bluetooth version is a higher version than what's on the previous ones, but I like it, and it sounds a little bit richer to me too. I've been listening to the same the same phone for almost 2 years. So getting this one, it does sound richer overall. So I believe that the codec that it's using to send the information to my car stereo is better than what I could use before. So that's a plus. That is a definite plus. And since Google now is using a brand new chip, the Tensor chip, so they're using their own in-house chip this time. It's based on a Samsung Exynos chip, but we won't get into all that stuff. This is just general stuff that we're talking about here. But yeah, since they use their own chip, they can optimize it so that everything is fast and fluid. And let me tell you, it is fast and fluid. Like, I have no issues with scrolling. Like, it's great. Like, apps load up like crazy. It is absolutely amazing. I will definitely say it is fast. One thing that I do with all of my Android phones, especially Pixels, because they have a lot of different animations, what I usually do is I will go into developer options and cut down the animation times by half. So it's a 0.5 instead of a full, 1 time animation. So it cuts them down to make different things. Like if I click this, it cuts down the animation. It usually takes a little bit longer, so when you cut it down, it's a faster animation, and it makes your phone feel so much faster. I love it. I absolutely, positively love it. Even just clicking here and loading up the weather. Look how fast that thing just popped up, man. It's fast. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna say that the benchmarks don't say that. They're like, oh yeah, the Apple chip is much faster, or the Snapdragon 888 is much faster than the benchmarks. Yeah, we don't care about that. Apple didn't care about benchmarks, all that stuff either. They just wanted you to get their, new phone and look at how fast it is on day-to-day tasks. And that's the thing. This is the phone that I use every single day. So I'm not like these other tech YouTubers that have like 300 phones that they're reviewing, so they have to decide which one is going to stay in their pocket. No, this is the only phone that I have. Once I send my 4A back to Google for the trade-in, this is it. This is my phone. I have my 3A as a work phone, and then I have this 6 is my personal phone forever. I kept, for nostalgic reasons, my original Pixel, but I can't use that. That battery has been through it these past few years because I used to use it for work also. And yeah, but anyway, I absolutely love the speed of this phone. I haven't done extensive testing yet as far as like the camera and stuff. That will come through in my full review. But speaking of that, Android 12. I must talk about Android 12. Okay, let's Android 12. Now, I absolutely love it, but it's buggy. It has some bugs. I was in the beta program, and I was hoping a lot of the weird stuff that I saw come through was going to get fixed. But it's still some weird issues. A lot of issues stem from like the always on screen. Now, you see right now, it actually has the spot where I could put my finger for the fingerprint. But not always does it have that. It doesn't have that all the time. And I have to click the power button to wake it up, and then I can put my finger there to unlock it. And as you see, now this is a good segue. We could talk about the fingerprint sensor too. So the fingerprint sensor is a little hit or miss. As you see, it's not recognizing my thumb, and then all of a sudden it does. But I don't know. Since they didn't use the ultrasonic one like the Samsung phones do, and they use just like the optical sensor, if you notice, I'll show you. So if you notice, when I do it, you'll see it light up. So it uses a super bright light to almost capture a picture of your finger so that you can get into it. It's not the fastest thing in the world, and it's not as accurate. Like today, so I'm in the IT world. So we have, where I work, we have houses in the community that we have to go into, and we have to do a bunch of wiring. So your hands get dirty and, you know, they get all ashy and, you know, you get paint all over them or whatever. Using that fingerprint sensor, bruh, it never worked. It did not work until I completely washed my hands and got all the stuff out of the way, and then it was unlocked. I really miss the fingerprint sensor on the back of the phone that I can easily just put my index finger on and boom, I'm in the phone. I do miss that, but I'm gonna get used to it. This is like my first real my first real week with a phone with a in-display fingerprint sensor. It's first time ever because I've always had Pixels, so they usually just have them on the back. It's all good. I'll get used to it. But Android 12, I believe that it also can be fixed with software. Android 12 just needs to fix a few weird bugs. Like, for instance, this phone is 120 hertz, right? I've only seen 120 hertz maybe twice. And that's because I forced it and then I restarted the phone and then blammo, I get 120 hertz for a little bit, even when I click in developer options to force it all the time, and then all of a sudden it drops back down to 60 hertz. Now, I paid for the Pro, bro. I want my 120 hertz. And if I want it all the time, there's a toggle for me to do so. As of right now, I only have 60 hertz. I'm gonna give Google a shot to work that out because they always do updates. They do updates once a month, and sometimes they'll sprinkle hot fixes out depending on what's going on. So I'm just gonna be patient and I'm gonna wait. But 120 hertz is amazing. I had 90 hertz on my Pixel 4 and I loved it. When I went to the Pixel 4a to save a little bit of cash on my Verizon bill, I kind of missed it. So I want the 120 hertz on this phone since I got the big dog this time. So, moving on, the next thing I want to talk about is this is the first big phone that I've had since the Pixel 2 XL, and this thing is huge. Just look at the comparison. This is what I came from. Look at that. That is absolutely ridiculous right here. That size difference is crazy, and putting this thing in your pocket, it's ridiculous. But it's so dope when you pull that thing out and you are scrolling and looking at pictures and social media. It is definitely worth the hassle. And as you notice, I always get the smaller versions of the phone because that's the original Pixel. So that one there, I could have got the XL, but I didn't. The Pixel 2 was the only one that got the XL model. And I took that one to California with me to visit my homeboy, EJ. Shout out to EJ if you're watching this video. Took a visit out there in 2018, and like I had the Pixel 2 XL at that time. And bruh, like having that thing in my pocket, in my cargo short pocket so that I can protect it while I'm on these rides, man, it was a beast. It was a big pocket bulge, if you know what I mean. But this time around, I mean, it's going to be even bigger because this one's bigger than the 2XL. So I'm going to have to deal with it, though, because I want them cameras and I want the front-facing camera. Since I guess you can call me a content creator if you count this as creating content. Got me a little teeny tiny YouTube channel with like 2 followers. But hey, I love doing this stuff, and hopefully one day I can get more followers. But you know, I want to use this phone as a content creation machine and controlling a lot of the stuff in my home because I'm in the Google ecosystem, so it just makes sense. But I love these Pixels. So I miss my headphone jack already too. So this one does not have a headphone jack. So what you have to do is you have to use one of those dongles. So you only have the USB-C port down here at the bottom. That's all you got. You can't do anything else with that. So you have to get one of those dongles. And I have one from, I think it was my Pixel 4 that came with the dongle. So I have one of them, but it's just not the same. It really isn't the same. I miss the fact that they used to just include one in the box. And now they don't. And like this one had a headphone jack, which I was able to use, which was awesome. And even the first Pixel had a headphone jack. And man, Apple, you just ruined a lot of things, man. You shouldn't have let them take away the headphone jack. Headphones just sound so much better when you have a nice quality pair, but I guess I have Bluetooth. I have completely wireless earbuds. I have the Samsung Buds Plus. And also, check this out, y'all. This, when I ordered it from the Google store, you were able to get a free pair of Pixel Buds A. So the A series. So I will be receiving those probably the end of November because they were kind of back ordered. I barely got the daggone phone. So yeah, so I'm gonna be getting a pair of those. So I guess I don't need it, but it's always convenient to have those because when when the batteries die in those, I mean, and when you don't have your dongle, you scrambling. So, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So, um, another thing that YouTubers talk about is the battery life. So far, I've been able to make it through a day, sleep overnight, and then wake up and it's like maybe 20%. And that's because I listen to YouTube at night to fall asleep, usually ASMR. It just relaxes me. Don't judge me. Don't leave anything in the comments about it. But I listen to ASMR usually nightly to calm myself down and just drift off to sleep. And sometimes when you fall asleep, YouTube is still playing in the headphones, but it's all good. And I wake up and it's like 20%. I charge it up while I'm getting dressed, charge it up on the way to work. And at my job, I have a wireless charger just sitting on the dock, and I'm good. So maybe I'm not considered a power user like some of these YouTubers are out there, but the battery life for me has been pretty good, and it's going to get better because the phone uses AI to determine what you use and what you don't use, and it adjusts the battery usage accordingly. So it will not give power to anything that doesn't need it and only the things that I need, and it'll get better. Like I used to get almost 2 days, 2 full days out of this one after it did the adaptive battery and it just started optimizing and learning and stuff. It was amazing. And this is a small battery, dude. That's a small battery. So I don't know. It's gonna get better with time. It's all great. I think it's fine. A lot of these YouTubers out here, I don't know, they're so used to using so many phones, but this is my only one. So I will do some camera testing really soon. I've taken a few shots at my job, out and about, just to get a good feel on how the camera takes pictures. And I've noticed that it keeps the highlights like it. I'm used to the super contrasty look of my 4A. So this one is contrasty, but the shadow detail is better. But I kind of like the darker shadow detail. And I know you can adjust it with the slider, but if I just want to point at something and shoot it real quick, then I'm gonna have to get used to it. But so far so good. It looks pretty good. Haven't taken any videos yet. I am going to see the Eternals this weekend. I'm filming this on a Thursday, so I'm going that Saturday to see it, and I'm going to film that review on the 4, not the 4, on the 6, and we're going to see how the 4K looks in comparison to the other ones. And I edit my stuff in Final Cut Pro, so we're going to see how it renders it, and it's we'll put it through its paces. And stay tuned for that review coming up pretty soon. So last thing I want to talk about for the initial reaction is I'm so glad that the wireless charging still works on this thing with this original Pixel case. So I can still use this as almost like a Google Home, because once it goes on there, the software kicks in and it acts like a standard Google Home would. Like if you had the Google Home hubs with the screens, it acts like one of those. And then what I like to do, I like to have it after a little while, it'll go to a screensaver, and it's usually just a photo album that I have in my Google Photos. And usually it is wallpaper and random stuff like that, and it just looks so cool sitting on the bedside. Is dope. is dope. I love just looking at it. So when I'm sitting at work and I have it on the charger, it doesn't do anything because I have a standard wireless charger at work. I might have to get the new charger, take this old one to work, and then I can just have this sitting at my desk looking dope all day long. I absolutely love it. So again, look, this is just my first impressions. I'm going to do more testing. I'm going to do a lot more with it. Do the camera, do some more battery testing, all those good things. I don't use a script. I only have little points that I have to do. So, I have like a little iPad off screen that I can look at some of my thoughts. Hopefully you like this video. Give me a thumbs up and leave a comment if you do. One thing I will say is the review is going to be kind of long because I know I'm gonna have a lot to say about it, because this is Google's finally a flagship, like a real flagship phone, from design to the chip to the screen to everything. This is Google's best, and I love it. So I'm gonna probably have a lot to say, so be prepared because this is going on pretty long too. But just wanted to give you my initial impressions, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And go Team Pixel. I'm representing Team Pixel. I am a Pixel super fan. So my things are objective though, because I've been using Pixels for so long. I'm not going to complain about where the placement of certain things are, because they're all been the same. So subscribe to my channel. I appreciate y'all watching. And as usual, peace. More DV. The budget enthusiast.